I am back. A little bit earlier than some people expected, but I am indeed back. We are coming up to another Division B series, except this time we have it B West. Also, I should note that I need to be moved to Obs in the game. But B West, we have Spooky Ghost facing off against Team Rainbow Strike. Go! So this should be a fun... Oh, that food's coming up. We should have a fun series. Can I stop hiccuping? In store for us today, as both these teams have done pretty well this season, if I recall correctly. Either way, I've seen them both have some pretty competitive matches between the two, so that should be fun. So to briefly talk about kind of what's happened before we get into kind of breaking things down, we do see that Spooky Ghost had the coin toss, but they lost it, and we do see that Team Rainbow Strike Go elected to map pick. So they banned out Infernal and Towers of Doom, while Spooky Ghost banned out Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple. That will lead us to this map of Braxis Holdout. So that's a pretty effective summary of what is happening here today. So having a look at it, Spooky Ghosts and Team Rainbow Strike Go are roughly in the middle of a pool. 1 seed 5, 1 seed 7 respectively. So pretty close to each other in that regard. It'll be very interesting to see how this goes. Well, I guess I should say, yeah, Spooky Ghost is the 1 in 5, while Team Rainbow Strike Go is the 1 in 7. So this should be a pretty close one, so to speak. Caster is ready as well. I'm pushing it on the wrong thing. I do like that Spooky Ghost have just spammed the lobby chat with Ghost and then just getting a ready. So apparently them just spamming Ghost is their ready. Good to know for the future. But looks like the team is starting. I think they may have taken me saying ready as them. Not quite it, but it will be going soon anyway. As we are hearing Braxis Holdout will be starting now. It's the second time we're getting Braxis today. Second time in a row, in fact. So let's see how this goes, shall we? So, well, let's have a look. Blue team will be banning first, as they do have first pick. So what is Spooky Boasts? Spooky Ghost going to be thinking? Blue team thinking about it. Having a little guess up. Gonna have a quick think, go, what do we not want to see? What do we do want to see? Do we want to get rid of Garrosh? Do we want to get rid of Vala? We have first pick. We can have either of these things if we want it, but they do get rid of Vala anyway, which, reasonable enough, it is a decent start. And do I realize the other day that you guys have had your daylight savings occur. That's really is what throwing me off currently, because this, normally, for this kind of match slot, it would be about 4:30 in the afternoon. It's a whole hour. I haven't gone through daylight saving myself. It's going to get worse when I go through daylight savings myself. Because you guys went through it, it's now like such a massive difference for me that I'm just like staring at things blankly going, what the hell is this? A 2 o'clock game? A 3:30 game? Spooky Boats is about right. But yeah, I'm like, oh jeez. But I will get over it eventually. I'll understand time zones again soon enough. This is also, funnily enough, the second time I've seen TLV banned out today. Just not on Braxis. Definitely a weird one to ban out on Braxis. Not your most expected thing, but they can do very well in a solo lane together. They can, in fact, even bully a little bit post 7. They can do a fair amount of damage in a lot of situations. We can see also Junkrat is banned out by Team Rainbow Strike Go, but we did also see Garrosh being banned, which, all reasonable. Joanna is still on the table. We do also have things such as Sergeant Hammer available if they want to get a little bit annoying with that type of thing. But the question is, will they commit to it? We'll have to wait and see, shall we? There's Joanna. Good first pick. Good first thing to pick up. Are we already in round 6? Where is the time gone? Sylvanas and Brightwing have been picked up by the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. I like daylight. I wish we'd just stay in the daylight savings zone. If we could just stay in daylight savings, I'd really appreciate that in particular. But if not, that is ultimately fine as well. God, I'm tired. I keep yawning. I've not even done much today. Adwin and Genji picked up. Genji is one of those ones where this is one of the very few maps he does well on. Because he can rotate quickly through mid and between top and bot. It makes him actually quite oppressive to deal with in a lot of instances. He can be a lot of places quickly. He can get that damage out in the offlane and then return to the 4-man. It is a interesting pick, to say the least. They do, however, need to draft a lot of Zergware. And unfortunately, banning out Gul'dan, that is one of those better ones for the Zergware. And does pretty good hero damage during these fights as well. Holy shit, I'm tired. Alright, that was the third ban for the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. What will be the last ban? We see a Diablo banned out, which honestly, reasonable. So Brightwing Sylvanas picked up so far. We still need to see the offlane, we still need to see the tank, and we still see the main Zerg clear. So what are those going to be? Do we see a Tassadar picked up here? Do we see the tank pick held on to, because you're not probably going to get a tank? Nope, we see a Nubrak, and there's the Tassadar, so kind of two things semi-expected. Which leaves quite light, a little bit lighter of a Zergware for Spooky Ghost. A lot of a good one, like a lot of the main players for it are gone. You can still get things such as Kael'thas picked up. I try to remember all the majors off my head. I can't. We see Dahaka, and there's the Kael'thas. Don't like taking Genji into Brightwing. Yeah, it can be a little bit rough taking Genji into Brightwing. Genji has to be very smart about it. Fortunately for them, they can rotate a bit quicker than Brightwing. Yeah, sure, phase shift exists, but once Brightwing phase shifts, it's a long walk back for them either way. So we'd have to see how long that rotation takes them as well. An Imperius rounding things out. That is an interesting one indeed. Not one I expect to see often, but I am here for it. I like both these drafts. I really do. The Genji is a good pick, but Brightwing definitely makes it a lot worse. So I guess we'll have to see how that one goes coming on up. So we have the countdown done. We are going to be getting into the game in a few moments. So I'm going to roll the opening reel, and we'll see how this goes, shall we? Pink Blackout, I'll be honest, whenever you come in like with a lull emote, I am highly afraid of something. I've said something dumb again, which is possible. I do say a lot of dumb things a lot of the time, though we'll have to see how things go from there. So we do see, I do know you used to be on TRSG. I remember casting you guys a few times last season at least. Even if my memory isn't great, I do remember that team existing. It was TRSG Undead? I believe you're on. Oh wait, I'm not the best at remembering things. So let's get into the game, shall we? You see Eric with a K there on the Dahaka. Otherwise, on the bottom side of Spooky Ghost, we do have Rogoth, Joanna, Rift, Genji, Little Wolf on the Anduin, and Kalidas on the Kael'thas. On the other side, we do see Salem on the Imperius. Brightwing is... Oh, Chopper's on Brightwing, I should say, not Brightwing is on Chopper, because that sounds a little bit weirder. We do also see, rounding things out, X-Havoc is on the Anubrak, Robert on the Tassadar, and Toki B on the Sylvanas. And interesting enough, we're not getting the cheese out the gate. They're just going to be starting... I hate... Oh my hate. Be sure to leave a follow for Line Boss, they say. Ugh. Right, we are going to be getting into things. The offlaners will fight. That's what they do. X-Havoc has been found. Gets a nice stun immediately onto Rogoth. Rogoth does pop the Iron Skin and backs on out, so they'll ultimately be safe. And that we see Rift is just poking at things from the top. Oh, nice. Double stun by X-Havoc. Little Wolf taking a little bit of damage here. I like how Genji is playing a little bit away from where the Brightwing is. They're not wanting to get polymorphed just yet. And when they do go in, which is a Genji, they will go in. Like that. They need to be very careful not to deflect before Brightwing polymorphs him. It's very much a game of chicken. If Genji deflects and gets polymorphed, he dies. If Brightwing polymorphs, then Genji can deflect afterwards, they live. So it's very much a patience game. And Salem very low. Barely goes down to deflect itself. Rift getting that kill. And that's the power of Genji. As I said, Genji is one of those heroes who can rotate between lanes very quickly. And we can see they hit an excellent punish for the Imperius. Imperius, not known for their escape ability. They have their spear for movement. That's about it. But a lot of time you're wanting to engage with it. But now you can see X-Havoc is not wanting to stick around too long. Chopper tops up X-Havoc. And the camp will be found for the side of Spooky Ghosts. So they do have a little bit of macro pressure. We do see now Rift has come up top and Salem is going to start backing out. Eric with a K doesn't quite get much more aggressive on it. No tongue available by the looks of things. So that will mean it's an even objective phase. Neither team having a explicit advantage over the others. A direct advantage over the others. Rogoff considering stepping on up but unable to do so at present. Nice blinding all four members. Good. Stun, good follow-up. And Genji standing the objective above as we see Toki B and X-Havoc rotating around now. Nice amount of damage coming onto the Nubrak. Nubrak drops the beetle as they back on up. And we do see now they're coming back in. And Rogoff realizing, oh, actually the Haka doesn't have top objective. We do need to actually have a little scrap here. And if a scrap shall happen, Genji gets very aggressive, takes down the Nubrak. And that really is the power of Genji. Fortunately, they're able to jump out before Brightwing could polymorph them. Nice stun onto Robear. Robear in danger now. Does have a spell armor from Chopper. See Rift getting aggressive under them. Does have Dragon Claw, but will go down. That aggression for once did not quite work in their favor, and that is them dying. Meanwhile, top we do see that Eric with a K and Salem are in a little bit of eternal conflict of their own as Eric with a K is forced out. But Brightwing does phase shift top. Now is the time where, yep, we can see that Spooky Ghost can grab the bottom objective pretty easily, actually. And I do like that Toki P has picked up the Unstable Toxin at level 4. So that should be a good talent for them there. Nice stun, good amount of damage under the Anubrak. Anubrak having to burrow charge out to safety. 120 health left on them. Meanwhile, Rogoff stuck on a Tassadar wall. In trouble, but we'll be fine. Toki B taking a lot of damage. They're in the wrong place. They do get rooted. They're unable to use their Haunting Wave to get out, and they go down. And yeah, Genji is doing very well this map. But as I said, these are one of those maps where Genji can get away with a lot. They can rotate between the lanes really effectively. And it's actually quite hard for them to... quite hard for the enemy to deal with that. Even though Brightwing is a hero with a global, Genji could just out-rotate the Brightwing if they do bait them or force them to rotate up. X-Havoc is forced out. Rogoff actually getting relatively low themselves, but Little Wolf is staying on top of the healing. In terms of talent, I am going to quickly talk about what is being stacked. We do see Dahaka is that... I can't remember what the talent's called. Tissue Regeneration, I believe. We do also see that they are rotating top, about to deal with Salem once again. And that we do see the Mana Addict, Kalfist, Subdue Joanna, Inner Light, Piercing Light on the Anduin. Also note that Imperius did go down there because Genji did come up and help Eric with a K. We would also see that it is the Static Discharge on the Tassadar, and Dark has actually gone Regeneration Master. It's one of those longer quests to complete. It is 30 low, so it can take a while, but it will be fine. Oh! They may get there in the end. This is one of the maps where if you've got a lot of zonal control, you can get those globes stacked quite quickly, but not all the time. It is not something guaranteed. We do see Desperate Prayer picked up by Anduin. It's going to be the main thing to not here, because it is just something a little bit more difficult. And Imperius picking up Holy Fervor, helping with their own wave clear, and can clear the Zerg now a little bit better. Nice piercing, nice shield clear, I think it's called. Good 4-man blind. Toki B trying to get aggressive onto Rogoff, and Rogoff is getting rather annoyed at Sylvanas. Piercing light coming out, yep. Oh, it looks like Imperius is 2v1ing. With that AoE auto attack, Salem's actually getting through a lot, but Rift, however, does find the kill on them. Genji making absolute hell for this Imperius this game. Imperius, I don't think, is having much fun. Oh, and Genji's on the objective just above. They're getting a lot of pressure on them to get stunned for efforts. Dash out, and it looks like it is the augmented deflects, augmented guards. So what they do deflect will give them a shield by the end of it. At the end of it. Sylvanas keeps getting blinded. She's getting rather annoyed by that. Nice. Condemn, but no, nothing to follow up from that. Chopper getting relatively low. Kalphus bomb will finish them off. Rift's getting on top of Toki B. Does use the Dragon Claw. It does find the dash kill and reset to get out. And now that is a full Zerg for the side of Spooky Ghosts. But Team Rainbow Strike Go has just a 18% one, so not very big at all on their part. What I'd like to see here actually is Spooky Ghosts full clear bottom and being counter push. Oh, that's a little bit too aggressive there by the Anubarak. Anubarak burrow charges in, eats a Kalphus stun for the efforts, and perishes. It does happen. It's unfortunate, but yeah, good. As I say, I do like to see the push. Yeah, we do see Phoenix being dropped by Kalphus on the gates of no one there to defend it, so we're going to get a heavy push on that. Obviously, we do see the X-Strike Genji. We do have Blessed Shield, Joanna, and Dahaka and Anduin having a think about it. Polymorph partway through the tongue. They're not able to find Salem with that, so they do have to back out. Imperius will not get tongued today.
Zerg waves defeated. Resetting pens as per protocol.
And things are being reset. Zerg waves are done. We do see the whole front wall taken bottom. Meanwhile, the top Zerg relatively well defended, but also found the full wall there as well. So Spooky Ghost off to a very good start. Looking at Invade now. Oh, the Polymorph stopping Genji dashing in. No Genji dash light bomb coming out. However, that is still X-Havoc getting very low, being forced out. But Robert and X-Havoc getting kept alive very well by Brightwing. Brightwing is doing a lot. And that Polymorph there probably saved the team a lot of deaths. Eric of the K does get hit by the Imperius Spear, but they've got the camp. They stole what they wanted. It is time for them to leave. And that's probably, again, point-and-click CC. Genji's hard. What's considered Genji's hard counter, but I guess point-and-click CC can be anyone's hard counter, as I sure as hell don't like going into a place where I'm getting polymorphed every 5 seconds as someone who likes moving around a bunch. It's just not what you want. But tents are now through for the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. We have Wrath of Anguirus. I also mentioned before anything else, Spooky Ghost did also pick up the adaptation of the Haka, as well as Lightbomb Anduin. But we do now see also an Invade coming out. Vera's V Cocoon coming out from a Nubrak route soon to follow. Black Hole not quite finding anyone. Joanna manages to get out of the Cocoon without too much happening to them. Nice Blessed Shield. Light Bomb Genji Dash working out that time. You can see it's Tassadar going down. We can see the Sylvanas going down next. And that is a good double kill for the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. So just talk about the other things that I was going to mention before team fights kept breaking out. We do also have Mind Control Sylvanas, Cocoon, Anubrak, Black Hole Tassadar, and rounding things out is the Blink heal on the Brightwing. And it looks like Genji is going to be considering that full deflect build, as they were just standing in the boss, just getting all that deflect energy up. X-Havoc looking to go in, but the rest of the team is unavailable at the moment. The blue team get the objective, and now we can see X-Havoc getting tongued by Dahaka. That is not what you want. But the bug is eaten. That is going to be a Nubrak going down, and that's a good extra source of protein for Dahaka's diet. Right, Robert and Salem now in position to consider the objective, but no, they do just have a boss they need to deal with. As 4 out of the 5 members are top currently, Imperius and Tassadar are not wanting to push in exactly, which reasonable enough. Oh, Eric of the K is waddling on up. Light Bomb on top, and that is a... Imperius hasn't been able to move for about 5 seconds, so that's a very dead Imperius there. Not quite what you want if you are them. But now we can see that is a burrow charge coming out from X-Havoc. X-Havoc then using their... I don't know what that ability is actually called. Their Q. And that is the Cocoon coming out onto Dahaka. Now we see Toki in trouble. Does dash out. We can see Rift standing on top of them. X-Strike not quite finding it, but the X-Strike did manage to dodge the Cocoon. Not the Cocoon, the Mind Control, whether on purpose or not. And Robeard does actually manage to find their way out. However, Brightwing, Anubrak, and Sylvanas all going down there. Rift does jump the wall in time to dodge Salem's spear. And now we can see the team backing on up. They realize there was Zergers bottom. They realize the enemy Zergers pushing top. And they are top currently. They're not working with their Zerg, and nor are they defending it. Albeit the Zerg is not being attacked by Team Rainbow Strike Go currently, so Spooky Ghost does have a little bit of time. Genji deflecting a little bit preemptively, expecting Salem to go in on them, but no, there's nothing as such. The teams are just playing it slow. 13s are through now for Spooky Ghost, or have been through for a little bit for Spooky Ghost, this thing to not. Polymorph coming out. That's a lot of things coming out onto Joanna. Joanna popped the Anskin eventually. However, it was the pull by... Ooh, as I say, pull by Anduin, which means Kaleidos was able to get taken by Imperius, Ratham, and Geras. However, they get to survive. And in fact, it's 3 quick kills from the side of Spooky Ghost. Once again, we see Imperius, Tassadar, and Brightwing going down. X-Havoc looks like he's the next one on the chopping block, but no, they do get out far enough where there is nothing else to come out. We'll say, give me more. Hope you're doing well this evening. And we can see that is the going down. Keep going down. So 2 structures found for that phase for Spooky Ghost, but Team Rainbow Strike Go unfortunately not able to find top. This Genji is turning to be quite a hard thing to deal with, which I do love seeing these lesser picked heroes such as Genji coming out on these maps, such as Braxis. I am doing live games. I know it's a surprise. It's absolutely a shock. But every now and again, well, I guess it's the last day of my short holiday, so I do have a little bit of time. We do see it isn't all in coming out. Eric with the case steps on the objective. Black Hole coming in as well. There's a lot of bodies standing in this one small area. Light Bomb finding both X-Havoc and Salem. Camp eventually found. And unfortunately, X-Havoc, the Nubrak was in the middle of everything. We see Tongue coming out Imperius. That's Imperius going down now. And Rift Orwell is just still running at the Brightwing. Genji very much wanting those kills. X-Strike coming out. Does find the Brightwing. Excellent X-Strike. And we see Toki B running away as far as they can. But this may be an end call coming out for the side of Spooky Ghost. I don't know if you have quite enough damage to fully get through this, and time is the thing. Anubrak's coming up now. Imperius is just another few seconds away, and Brightwing not soon after that. It looks like the end call has come indeed. You see that Genji is stuck in the cocoon, with a dive coming out onto Kaleidos. Either way, Kael'thas is in trouble. It looks like there was enough to end the core, as the core is quickly dropping. Rogoff goes down at the end, but that will be the first game of the series. Going over to Spooky Ghost. GG's called by both sides. Well played. Alright, let me swap on over to the game summary screen. When it gets there. It does like taking its time. So, in terms of stats, Genji absolutely killing it. 36k damage. Barely beating out Kael'thas on 35, albeit Kael'thas did do a lot more siege compared to the hero damage. And in terms of hero damage for the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go, Tokibi did actually have a highest in the game on that Sylvanas. Just unfortunately, there's a lot of pressure going on to Imperius. Imperius had a very rough time, 6 deaths, but Genji is a hero that can absolutely make the offlane hell for either team. Well, for the team that they are against. A good one, I should say. A bad one, like if I was playing Genji, would not make it bad. You'd probably be like, oh, thank God, it's this guy playing Genji. What an idiot. No, but in terms of healing, we can see Anduin 49k compared to Brightwing's 38. Inherently, that is because Anduin does have a little bit easier time early on. This map does like to go a little bit quicker, and Brightwing was needing use of phase shifts top, so they weren't getting the AoE healing bottom. That was sometimes needed. And in terms of soak, we can see Dahaka and Imperius pretty even. Dahaka did end up getting a little bit more, as they did have more time in the lane alone, because Imperius was getting hunted a little bit. And in terms of talent, anything that stands out here in particular, I'd say adaptation, but adaptation did do a lot for Dahaka. Dahaka did have a few times where they're getting quite low, but were able to live. I do like Phoenix, Mind Control, Ratham, and Geras is always an interesting one in Imperius. But I do like the pickup of Press Forward. Press Forward is one of those talents of if you can have a constant source of globes, which Braxis does provide, you're always fighting near a lane, and there's those globe generators right at the top and bottom of the map in the middle respectively. And that could make things a lot easier. So I don't know what the next map is for us. Also, keep in mind it was almost 2-hole. It was 2-hole Dalantina advantage by the end. So I'm going to throw it to the game summary, map view screen, and we'll see what's coming up soon, shall we? And I need to do this before I forget. Tick. Yeah, so Team Rainbow Strike Go, it was their map pick. So I wonder if they're going to go map pick again. Or if they're going to throw things up, go the... What's the phrase I'm looking for? First pick? Yeah, first pick. And see what they do with that. My face hurts from smiling. I do just really enjoy the game. But looks like we are once getting another 2-lane map. As we have Battlefield of Eternity, we're liking the 2-lane B maps, aren't we? Who picked this map? I'll find out soon enough. But yeah, I hope everyone in chat's doing well today. Pink Blackout, Vorio, give me more. Hope you guys are all doing excellent. I know I'm feeling much better since my little break away from things. And yes, they are correct that this one is not the ARAM map. I do wonder why they do have the two Braxuses so similarly named. Braxus Holdout and Braxus Outpost. Both are pretty similar in meaning. Just one's an ARAM map and one is a normal and 2-lane map. So there was a little bit of a mix-up before where we ended up trying to go to a ARAM map twice. Didn't quite work as intended, but we did get there in the end. Also, it does look like Team Rainbow Strike Go did choose the map. So hopefully this one is close. So I do wonder if each team has kind of their own. We're going to race or we're going to team fight. We're going to do a little hybrid type thing where I hope we get something good. I hope we see something like an Artanis, considering... I've still got hiccups, considering what we have seen so far. Man, I'm not feeling good today. Oh, I blame the travel. I blame having alcohol while flying. Right. We're just waiting a few more people to get in here. Hell yeah, a week of just rest has been amazing, for me at least, so I hope you have a great week with that as well. Who are we waiting on? Who are we missing from before? I'm yawning again. Oh, I'm feeling like an old man right about now. I called Weenus the old man the other day and he won't let it go. It's fair. I would not let it go either. Yeah, it looks like we're just waiting on 2 more. Yeah, I called Weenus an old man and he's not letting it go. He made a soundbite to me going, at least I'm feeling old, I understand how Weenus feels. And I'm like, well, yeah, I said my words, I said my piece, I now have to deal with it. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sorry, I'm just messaging someone very quick. I actually do need to respond to things. And I've been moved to the observer slot. Excellent. And I'm just going to put down a cast already, so hopefully we go in a few moments. So I'm just doing my housemate. I pre-cooked the rice if they needed to get cooked. Because I need to make a few things. Obviously, they wanted me to do it for dinner and I'm home alone. Because they're working at the moment while I have a day off. I'm living here in luxury. Just chilling. While my housemates are out working, slaving away. I'm like, it's great. This is great feeling not having to do anything. I'll be like, you bastard. Sitting here doing nothing. I'm like, yeah. I need a break. I need to chill. I need to relax. It's been a rough couple of months for me. Looks like one team is ready. We're just waiting on the other. I can see a bunch of ghosts being spammed, so I know which team is ready there. Because Little Wolf is, I believe, we are just waiting on... Oh, no, both teams are ready, so we'll be getting into it in a few moments now. Well, I say a few moments, but it's very much when the game decides we are going to start. The game ultimately decides when lobbies will actually start. Just click start game, but it can take a while. But as you hear, it is Battlefield of Eternity, so let me get into the draft, shall we? So, Spooky Ghost once again has first pick, because Team Rainbow Strike once again did map pick. They're liking their 2-lane B maps. How will this go is the question. We do see... Oh, what we'll get. Is there any kind of important things to ban out? I assume they don't ban out Vala this time. Unless they really just don't have a Vala player, I assume Vala will be left open. But they may also want to pick up the Joe first. But no, Vala is banned out, I suppose. Vala isn't their bag. They're not a big fan of it. What do we get here? I think last time Garrosh was banned out. But we see Anduin banned out this time. So besides, Spooky Ghost will not be having the light bomb again. But right, what next for the ban phase? I can't remember the bans after those first ones, unfortunately. I think there was a... Oh, TLV were banned here. It's still a reasonable ban in all honesty on this map. You can get a lot of damage on the Immortal with them. And we can see they are going to be banned out, which I do like. You can leave like Olaf, Balog into the lanes and then have Eric race with the rest of the team. We can see Garrosh is banned out as well. So the only thing really to change is Anduin. And I can't remember what was banned out instead of them in the first instance. Ugh. Love yawning because I'm tired. It's nothing on how the teams are playing, but teams are playing excellently. I'm just like a tired being a lot of the time. And Joanna picked up first once again. A good wall of a hero is actually quite hard to push into on this map. But I expect we're going to see Team Rainbow Strike go pick up their tank for side of things as well, because I do know the tank was pressured a little last game. Ugh, I really need to stop yawning, guys. Help. We see Jimmy, Raynor, and Diablo picked up. So, yep, so Tank was picked up before the second main phase this time. And I do like the Raynor pick. Raynor is probably going to go Executioner. Is it Executioner? Exterminator at level 1, which does increase their bonus to the things such as monsters, elites, minions, which the Immortal is an elite. And the Raynor can get through it very well. Or is it something else? I can't recall. But we see Dahaka and Tychus picked up now. So definitely we're getting a little bit more aggressive a composition from Spooky Ghost. Spooky Ghosts are going to need to be stepping into Team Rainbow Strike Go a little bit more, because currently their race is lacking compared to Team Rainbow Strike Go's. Of course it does depend. There are still a few picks left on the table. But they're showing their hand quite early compared to the other team. Red team is banning out Sergeant Hammer. Fair enough. I do wonder why Sergeant Hammer, though, considering they already have their kind of consistent damage in Tigers. But hey, if it's something you don't want to deal with it, it's easier just to get rid of it. Spooky Ghost has the last bat of the map. What's it gonna be? We do have Sylvanas picked up in the end. Nice. Well, banned out in the end. That's a pretty good one. I do wonder about its validity when you have already Raynor picked up. Maybe we see a Lunara here. Maybe we see Li Ming, Chromie. I like to see all these. What else is the question? What else could there be? Could give me offlaner here. We know what Dahaka is. Looks like Rhaegar and there's Lunara. So we are very heavy in the race side of things for Team Rainbow Strike Go. So Spooky Ghosts are likely going to be getting very aggressive into them. What will it be is the question. As I do not know either team's really full hero pools as to speak. Counting down, just a few seconds left. It looks like rounding things out will be Hanzo and Stukov. So Hanzo will be a lot of a race for Spooky Ghost. I imagine we will see his W build, or at least some rated arrows at level 4, which will help them out a lot. Whether level 1 will be simple geometry or redemption will be the question. Redemption will be a little bit hard in this one, because if Diablo charges you, you're very much in trouble. As Lunara, it can be on you very quick. And rounding things out is Blaze, who just, in general, is a good hero. I've told the virtues of Blaze many a times. God, for a brief moment I thought this was still the first map, and I had a brief freak out of how the hell do we get to 45 minutes later? But no, we're just coming up to the end of the draft now. Both the teams have been chosen. And this should be a good second map of the series. Hoping for a third, but we'll have to see by the end of this who is the victor of map number 2. So, catch you on the other side of the opening. We'll see what we have for us. We'll see what we have in store for us. I need like a standing disc. I need a disc that just lets me stand so I can just like not feel excited. I have one at work, for one at work does so well for me. But let's get into it, shall we? We have Toki B, or let's start with with Team Rainbow Strike Go, I should say first. We have Toki B on the Raynor, TRSG, Robert on the Hoppy DBS, Lunara, X Havoc is on the...
The battle begins in 10 seconds.
Fire Lizard. Diablo Chopper is on the Rhaegar, and we see rounding things out as Salem on the Blaze. On the other side, we do see Eric with a K on the Dahaka. We also have Rift on the Hanzo, Little Wolf, Stukov, Kalidus on the Tychus, and we do have Rogoff rounding things out with a Joanna. Well, let's have a look, shall we? Well, as I say, X-Havoc has been found underneath. We do have simple geometry from the Hanzo, which is expected. Enhanced agility to Haka, which I do like on this map in particular. On that, we do also see the auto attack Blaze being built into, as well as Exterminate at Raynor. Nice soda. That's unfortunate for Robia. Sonar arrow kind of being dragged around the place. There's a little bug in front of me. What the hell are you? You're a little... Shoot. Bug off. Go away. Bug is gone. Excellent. You can see now that totem being very annoying. Little Wolf does get stunned into the wall. Rogoff is chasing X-Havoc down. X-Havoc is in danger. Sorry about my camera work. I was trying to shoo a bug away with my mouse hand. And I nearly missed the death of the tank, which I think they wished I did miss it. But unfortunately, I am getting better with my camera work, even when there's a little bloody insects flying around being a dick. Good camp tech so far, but again, we do need this rejection. We do need this aggression from the side of Spooky Ghost, as they can't get away with being passive around the objective. It will always be, for the most part, it will be Team Rainbow Strike Go does race a bit better. And we can see Hanzo is actually making their way up to Blaze. Interesting, we're going to take over the lane for a little bit. No, they're going to actually help Tahaka. I'm just going to show what I'm doing. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. Iron's going to pop. We see Toki B just outside of Joanna's range. A slap on the X will be fine, but yep. Well, here's what's happening. Nope, Salem's going in. Does get hit with a tongue before the charge can hit. Now Salem is going to be going back out very shortly, I imagine. Nice scatter, getting a lot of damage onto Salem, but Salem will be fine. Meanwhile, we can see it is the Bruiser camps being picked up for both teams. Objective getting called now, so it will be pretty good timing. A little bit better for the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go over Spooky Ghost. And Spooky Ghost is still working on it, and they just find it now. And that Joanna is trying to best clear bottom. Toki B is coming down to see what they can do to pester Rogoff. Right, Tahaka sees what's happening. Salem does find them. Does burrow under, so Salem misses wildly. And now here is where it will get interesting. Chase on the X-Havoc. X-Havoc is going to be fine. Meanwhile, Robert above them just starting the race already. Considering currently whether they do need Nature's culling or they're going to go the extra range size on the W. Q, rather, sorry. Nice stun to X-Havoc. X-Havoc taking a lot, and that will be them going down. Now see Raynor and Robert doing their best, but will be chased out by Rogoff and Co. Rift will need to start racing shortly, as they do have those red arrows. That is really the race for Team Rainbow Strike Go. Eric with a K running people down, but will not quite find them. We see Tokibi and Robert just stepping up every now and again, just wanting to race. And unfortunately, Joanna did back up, so they can't really stop what's happening here. Oh, they have accidentally killed the Wisp. I love accidentally killing the Wisp. In the straight up race, I don't think this favors Spooky Ghost. I think they need Joanna to pester here. As we can see, it's both Immortals are dropping quickly, but it does appear to barely be in favor of Spooky Ghost. They had just enough of an advantage at the halftime show. They were able to take it in the end. And Lunara did eventually go that Nature's Culling, so they will get that bonus damage to things such as the Immortal, minions, or anything just not heroic, if I believe correctly. Yeah, to anything not heroes. Nice cleanse on the X-Havoc. X-Havoc taking a lot of damage, does back out to safety in the end. And will ultimately be fine. Blind on Tokibi. Tokibi do the pew pew pew. And slowly burning down that Immortal. But does get out, no damage to them yet. The scatter arrow just flying on him. We hear a lot of bounces, but not a lot of hits. 12 on that so far. Rift is still trying to complete it. As I said, it does take a little bit for that to complete, especially when it is a wider open areas such as the lanes. And their fights were pretty quick, where Rift didn't have a lot of time to stack. Actually, I'll leave this open and nearly vomited again. Other things to note is we do have Subdue on Joanna. We do have Minigun tie because we have pew 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 pew. And we do see that it is the Diablo going down. Tokibi next on the chopping block. Robert consider being ran at. And Scatter finding a few more stacks there. And this camp will once again be taken by, well, at least started by Spooky Ghost. So it looks like there's not going to be much to really stop them from doing it. Honestly, if I'm Spooky Ghost, I'd rather just push this. Yeah, I'd say pushing this is just much better for you, right? Yeah, sure, Blade's going to come up and be a hindrance, but you have the Impalers. You can do a lot. Nice. Point like W there by Little Wolf. Does a little bit of slow onto Salem. Salem considering going in, but it is made harder by Kalidas. And again, I do wish Joanna stayed top. They could have probably gotten a lot of the building up here, but no, they got bullied out by just one blaze. And that is not ideal if you're the side of Spooky Ghost. A little bit of a blunder there, but in all honesty, it is very minor in the grand scheme of things. Because do I think you could have gone the whole building? Maybe not. But it's definitely, you could have gone a lot lower. But we do know the Immortal, if they get it, will be going bottom now. And we do have the Immortals coming up. Ruby are a little bit alone. I'm just going to do this and do this. As you can see, the Heroics picked up for the side of Spooky Ghost is Commandeer Odin, Blessed Shield, Dragon Arrow, Flailing Swipes, and the Isolation. Speaking of which, Rhaegar was a little bit isolated themselves and will go down. No isolation needed, just is a good kill. Tokibi steps up, does find Rogoth. Rogoth just shines some light in your eyes. Tokibi's like, that's a little bit rude, mate. Don't like it. Nice stun on to Rogoth. Looks like Little Wolf is going to be one in trouble as they are getting dove upon. Apok directly under them. Dragon Arrow tries to come in and help him out. However, Hanzo realizes now they've put themselves in a little bit of a sticky situation. Does use the Vault and is out safely enough. Eric of the Gay gets found by X-Havoc. Does get flipped into Salem's charge. That's them going down. It looks like it is that burst build on the Lunara. Yes, indeed it is. Minigun X-Havoc the whole time. Meanwhile, Raynor has started racing. We do see the Commandeer Odin being dropped. That's not where you want to be. There is a wall right next to you, but no, they back out of there pretty quickly, in fact. Well, Raynor has been racing behind, and that is a lot of damage coming out onto Diablo now. Diablo is going to go down. And now we have a uphill battle for the side of Team Red Strike. Go Bunker drops in the middle of Salem. Going to do their best to get out. We do see the sun coming out. We do need to see a nice 80% slow. Salem goes down to the end to Hanzo. We see Rogoth and Kalidas standing under the Immortal. We'll be hitting bottom. Now this is actually not the easiest thing to push in with. You do have everyone up, but Diablo is quite squishy at the moment. Soulstone was reset. Very healthy Immortal, actually. Oh, half health Immortal. Basically half health Immortal. Pretty healthy for this stage of the game. And actually 8 for that tower. Right, the wool starting getting good burn on it now. Raynor does use VQ, but we can see that this building is likely not going to survive for too much longer. Oh, and that is a dead Raynor. TRSG Robert is also going to go down. We see Eric with the Cape using isolation onto Diablo. Diablo gets tongued in, will go down as well. Meanwhile, Kalidas is chasing down the objective themselves. I do like this call for the rest of them to push. I do wish they did this up top when they got a few kills. And Eric with a K is finally going up to make sure Blaze doesn't get too much value, as Blaze has actually been left with a lot of room to work. Give Blaze an inch and they can take a mile, and it appears to be they're definitely at least doing half a mile today. Oh, Tongue doesn't quite find Salem. That is unfortunate, and Salem does clear the way pretty effectively. Eric with a K now without their hungering swarm. What's happening bottom? X Havoc not sure about this, does go in, does get the APOC combo off onto Little Wolf. Little Wolf in trouble, does go down. Rogoff getting a nice stun, but deciding don't have to leave the camp. X Havoc, however, gets killed himself, and there we go, we see him going down now. That is Collider standing in the middle of things. We can see Rift getting low. That's now a 3 for 2. Eric with a K now here. Does burrow under Collider's relatively low. You can see now the stun. Oh my gosh, that is a 4 for 3. Salem is the last one up. Collider's just playing ring around for Rosie, wanting to make sure they're not the one getting hit. And that will be them going down. There's a person here with a delivery, so I'm going to have to mute myself. I'm going to follow over to Hark, and we're going to see how that goes. But we are getting into the objective phase now, because I realized just pushing a mute button did not quite work the way it did. But I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing. That's unfortunate, because I'm going to have to cut out a little bit of this segment. Nice tongue by Tahaka, except it's going to be pushing on under them. We do have the Immortals now clashing. Sorry, give me a moment. I'm just getting my head back around things. You just hear the APOC coming up, but nothing found there. Oh gosh. Sun coming out. We do see that it is a lot coming out. Salem is in trouble. Does drop the bunker at the end. Rogoff, however, is going to get put back in. There's the ancestral Salem going to be fine. Nice Dragon Arrow keeping Rogoff alive. And that is why Arrow is better than Strike. And I see Robert is pushing it under it. Bottom 4 went down, but top 4 will be going down as well as Camp's doing their job. But Salem is looking to be the one in trouble. Chased down by Rogoff, chased down by Rift, is going to be killed. X Havoc has gone a little bit too aggressive away from the rest of the team. They're getting stuck in a very awkward spot. Will go down very, very quick after as well. Blind coming out. Oh, that is not the time to get hit by an Immortal stun. I know you're selling out for this, but selling out for that, it can only do so much. If you're not there to back it up, you are not going to be able to do much. Imagine we're going to see Dahaka have to back immediately to deal with this camp. But this camp is still getting work done. That is a, albeit you lost all 5 members of your team, you still got a lot of value there. You got the objective, you got the top 4, you got your camp still pushing. So you're in very much, it doesn't feel like it, but you structurally have a lead. Oh, it does go down now, but structurally you're in a very good spot. It's actually a very close game. This is a much closer map than the last one. You can see that this Immortal is getting burnt down now. It does have a lot of punch to it. This thing, as you can see, it's just swiping the gate down in one more hit, but no, didn't quite hit it that time. There is the hit, there is the hit, that's the gate going down. You know, we can see Dahaka and Blaze do know where each other are. Salem, considering getting a charge off, doesn't quite do it, which, fair. But the charge is a fair chunk of their damage, and 6 cents have just come through the team. See X Havoc in danger. Dragon Arrow does finish them off. There is no Soulstone to save him that time. X Havoc does, oh no, X Havoc, Eric with a K does get hit from Salem's charge. You do see they are going to have a fight. Roby, just help your poor bruiser out. Eric with a K does see that Robert is there and realizes maybe I don't want to take that fight. They are going to be tearing apart the wave though. They did go the minus armor talent at level 13, so it does help things a lot, move on a lot. And it looks like Glidus and Rogoff are the ones getting called to be collapsed upon now, and we do see nice Iron Skin pop as Glidus does keep backing up. 10? Physical. I was like trying to figure out where they're getting the physical armor on, then I realized Stukov exists. Stukov can give the physical armor. They do a very good job at doing so. 10 physical armor baseline. They can get in the bush. They do. Well, we see warning pings come out because, oh wow, I wonder where everyone's hiding with this big red exclamation mark over your head. And Eric of K does have to back up because of that. All heroes are up. Diablo, what are you looking like on souls? Full soul stone, so it should be a good fight coming up. Rogoff holding pretty high. It looks like holding even higher is Eric with a K. Nice dragon arrow hitting just one, but we can see there is a lot of follow-up on there as well. Wizard Shield finding a decent amount. There is the Ancestral coming out. Unfortunately, it was on not enough to save the Diablo, as Diablo was not the target for it. Toki B in trouble, Salem as well. Little Wolf keeping Robert off him, and we can see 3 members now down as well, even though Diablo is back up, so I guess only 2 members are down. And now we get a push in. They should probably start the objective, because it's not still the easiest thing to push in, but Kalidas very much wants their value with their Odin, and they are going to god dang get it. And Eric of the K has been found. I do like Sentinel Wisp for that reason, especially on this map. This map is very good for, let's leave a bunch of heroes in the bush and kill whoever walks through this. And Wisp is very good for it, going, oh, let's see if anyone's in this bush. Oh, someone's in there. I'm not going to be there now. Screw that place. Oh, that is Dahaka's pushing on to the camp now. We can see that it is, unfortunately, the Rhaegar firing line. Scatter getting a lot of bounces, taking out Diablo in the end. And that is a good kill. Right, so the camp's coming up top. Robia is going to finish it off, but we're going to have a very healthy Immortal up soon. For the side of Spooky Ghosts, as that Immortal is being torn open. Am I cursed? I will not say it till after this. I actually don't want to cast a curse for this game. Even saying that is already a risk. But it is basically it is not even basically, it is a full health Immortal. Very healthy as well, as we're at the 16-minute mark. Level 20s are through now. Cinder Wisp is down. We can see that it is the Contagion Dahaka, Control Chaos Stukov, Dragon Arrow upgrade of player of the game there on the Hanzo. Let's have the Radiating Faith Joanna and Big Red Button Tychus. Eric with a K constantly tagging that bush. They get a nice little boop onto Salem, but not enough to actually catch them. Wizard Shield to not come out there. It was just a shield glare. Well, Big Red Button is being dropped on top of this. This Immortal is going down slowly but surely. There's only one pick here, and that may potentially be it. Nice charge by Salem. We can see that it is Black Hole, not Black Hole, Apox coming out. But that didn't quite find anyone. Nice stun by Rogoff, and that is a very unfortunate position for Diablo. Chopping now, next one on the chopping block. But no, they are going to be able to get into dog form, get out to safety. Grenade, unfortunately not enough to find them. Salem, however, is the next one to be looked at. Nice dodge of the isolation. Good bunker. Eric with a K backing on up. They're not going to be able to finish with this. They have on some core damage. And they can at least still threaten, but can they finish is very much now the question. There's Ancestral. It's not double Ancestral. They don't have 20s, but that's Blaze down. And now we're in a much worse position. That is then the Rhaegar down. That, it looks like it is going to be slowly falling in favor of Spooky Ghost. As that's 5 members up to this, so 2 damage dealers. Sure, 2 damage dealers can get a lot done. But into a beefy frontline such as Dahaka and the Joanna, that's not quite enough. And that'll be the game and the series going on over to the side of Spooky Ghost. GG. Well played, both teams. Right. That was a good series indeed. In terms of stats and things real quick, I'll just quickly brush over this so I can then get into things. We do see very good siege by Dahaka, 112 compared to 79k siege for Blaze. And we can see that there was definitely a difference between the two, as we do see that the soak was higher for Dahaka than Blaze as well. Blaze, however, did make up for it in team fight. There was excellent stuns there, a lot of AoE damage, making things actually quite difficult a few times there for Spooky Ghost. But Spooky Ghost did manage to overcome most of those team fights. Chopper, unfortunately, was a little bit bullied, and Diablo, very bullied. Tychus does very much make it so tanks do have difficult times. See, Tychus did have 77k hero damage. Not something that Rhaegar, or even Stukov, and either of those healers would be particularly good at keeping up with that. In terms of the talents, anything that stands out here... Actually, I'll put myself into a lobby now and see if anyone's willing to join me. In terms of talents, we do have a few good things. Anything unique here picked up. Play of the game, not often picked, but I do like seeing it. More and more, we do see Lurker Strain is a good knockback. It is a good little bit of zone control. Diablo did go Malevolence. Not something you see with W build very often. W build often leans into having more Ws at level 7. There is a talent there where you get a stun, you get me another W back. It's kind of cool. But does help Diablo. I did like the comp that Spooky Ghosts were running. Does have very good raise. However, Joanna with their shield wears did make things a lot harder. And I did like the burst on Lunara, just kind of hybridizing into a little bit of burst damage at Spooky Ghosts interview. So hopefully someone decides to join me soon enough. Other things to note here, we do have Rallying Cry. Yeah, like everything else makes sense. So I'll be changing over to the game summary screen, map view screen. And we'll just give it a few moments and see if anyone's willing to join us soon enough. So we do see it was a 2. Oh, we have Little Wolf joining us. Little Wolf, how are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going? Doing well. I'm in an ARAM right now, so hopefully this will go well.
You guys booked it into that. Geez, you're like, cool, we're done. ARAM time. So the series, how are you feeling after that? Two lane B maps. Were you expecting to do both of them?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting to do two lane maps, but in general, I was really happy with generally how we played. Little shaky in some areas, but overall okay.
So map number 1 definitely felt. You guys felt a lot more confident on that one than the most recent one because you had your Genji annoying the other team throughout. You did victimize and pull Imperius. Was that basically your game plan from the start, or what was your general go-to there? Considering you did pick up things such as Genji.
Yeah, no, the general plan was I think at first we were thinking about running like a 3-man like a 3-man rotation type of situation. But based off what they played, I looked at their tank history, their offlane history, and it seemed fairly pickable. So the Genji seemed like a really nice way to guarantee a lane for us, and then kind of leverage that as pressure throughout the map. So I think that worked out really well.
Yeah, and as we did see, you guys did have it light bomb Genji dash combo, which was stifled a couple of times by a small little fairy dragon. Were you knowing that was going to be the issue coming into picking Genji? Because I think Brightwing was picked first by them.
Yeah, the Brightwing definitely made the Genji idea just in general a little bit scarier. I will say, like, it's a commitment of resources, right? Because if Brightwing's rotating up to stop the pressure that we're putting up above, then the pressure that we're getting down is a bit more permanent as well, right? So like when we were like spreading bombs, I think with Kel'Thas, we picked that map.
Yep, you did.
So we were able to use that anyway. So it seemed like it was still okay. Definitely the Brightwing is like a spookier thing to be playing into against, obviously in that situation. But I was happy with how it worked out.
Was Kael'thas always the plan?
No, it was actually the Gul'dan. They did their homework. So I think they banned the Gul'dan, and then they themselves picked the Tassadar, which was I think our second choice. So Gul'dan was choice number 3.
Yeah.
Or not Gul'dan.
Kael'thas. It basically went word for word by saying like, oh, there's a Gul'dan ban. Are they going to consider Tesla? Oh, there's a Tesla pick. So what do we have now? Kael'thas? Kael'thas appears.
Yeah.
Now, map number 2 seemed a lot closer. Are you guys just not as strong on Battlefield, or were there just a few things that you weren't quite expecting to be thrown at you there?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think Battlefield of Eternity is a map that we struggle to just kind of call a little bit. We had a couple of communication mix-ups during the map. Nothing super crazy, but definitely enough to make things a little bit messier. I think though the biggest thing was they had way more race than us, right, for that entire game. So the way that I was thinking that we wanted to leverage it was to look for our pick or look for a fight early and then go for the race, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is if we didn't get that fight in a certain time frame, then we just lose the objective right away, which is I think what happened in the first 2 fights. I think there was one fight where our tank had to use his blessed shield to disengage on the bottom side of the immortal. And at that point, if we're playing really reactively with that composition, we're just gonna get outpoked on the immortal. Um,
Yeah, because I think there was one fight where you guys did eventually kill them all, but I think in that same time you lost your top fort to camp and you lost the objective. Was that kind of a moment going, okay, we need to kind of reconsider how we're doing these fights, or...
yeah, I will say we also got really lucky because there was a couple of fights that we took that were also kind of greedy. Like the fight over the bottom camp where like everyone did die.
Mm.
That could have easily gone the other way. Like if Eric hadn't rotated one time, and if Alex hadn't, the Dahaka and the Tychus players, if they hadn't like kind of positioned really well on that and clutched it out for us, that could have easily gone in their favor.
Yeah, and I think fortunately that did go in your favor because that did send up a lot of the momentum for that later game. Is there anything you want to say in general about the series, or any thanks or anything? The floor is yours.
I guess I'm just excited to play the rest of the teams. I think we started off the season um, a little bit weaker, and we're kind of trying to find our place in it right now. So I'm just really thankful to my teammates. They're all really great. We have a new DPS player with us, which kind of is really kind of pushing us to look at the game in different ways sometimes, and I think that's been really healthy for us. So I really appreciate his input. But yeah, in general, I'm just shout outs to my team, shout outs to all the teams in the division. Everyone's been really cool about scheduling this season, which has been really, really helpful considering I'm in school and I work. So it's been good.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, pardon me. Apparently I'm feeling a bit today. But no, thank you for joining me. It was a very good series. Hopefully your ARAM's going well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to play Cassia, but this is
Just for spears of the enemy's direction and things work out. That's how I play Cassia.
Yeah, that's the plan, I think. Well, thank you so much for casting, by the way. That was very kind of you to pick it up so last minute.
No worries. My throat is dying, so I'm going to call it there, but I hope you have a good night.
Sounds good. Take care.
You too. Bye. Alright, yeah, as I said, my throat is slowly going, so that is going to be it for me this evening. I'm going to be rating another person called CC. I've ran into him a few times. I did play a couple games with him the other day, so we are going to be going over there because I can't see any other NGS stuff going on. So for now, that will be it for me. 2 games in a 1 day after not doing it for like a week and a half is a lot. Because I very much force myself to smile while I talk, because it helps brighten up my voice. Because if I cut back on that a bit, it does turn a little bit more to my accent. It does definitely become a little bit more relaxed for me, but it does make some things get a little bit harder for people to understand when I am speaking quickly. So that has been it for me, your host, The Lime Bus. I wish everyone good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, because time zones are very weird, and I definitely get lost as soon as daylight savings appears, which it has, I know, for America. So I'll see everyone in the Nexus. Take care, guys.